After understanding the taxonomy of the gene and the strict bureaucracy of the seven kings, the next logical question for any serious student is, how do we bring this immense volatile energy into the physical world so it can assist us in our daily lives? In the corpus bunnium, spiritual energy is highly volatile. It is like electricity. If you do not give it a wire and a bulb, it will simply dissipate into the air or cause a dangerous short circuit. To make a command listening and stable, a master does not have the energy floating in the room. We anchor it into a physical object. This is the science of the vessel, most commonly materialized as a spiritual prepared ring. For 17 years, I have worn rings that do not just serve as jewelry. They are living, breathing spiritual horses. When properly bound, the metal and stone throb with a distinct energetic current that you can physically feel against your skin. The anatomy of the perfect vessel. You cannot just buy a random ring from a store and expect it to hold a khadim, servant, or a ruhaniyat. This material world operates as a strict vibrational frequencies, and certain elements attract or repel specific spiritual currents. In the Bunnium system, metals correspond directly to the planets and the seven kings. Silver, popularly known as Vidya. This is the universal most acceptable conductor of righteous ruhaniyat spiritual forces. It acts as a pure, clean mirror that safely observes and reflects spiritual seals. Gold, Zahab, reserved primarily for a solar forces king, Al-Muhibbin, and high-level authority. Though many practitioners stick to silver to maintain a united discipline current. Iron, Hadid, associated with Mars and the king Al-Muhammar. It carries an incredibly aggressive protection and shapes frequency. It is rarely used for gentle contentment. It is used for spiritual armor and war. The stone, the spiritual battery. The gemstone acts as a literal storage. It acts as a ritual storage battery for the entity presence. The stone must be neutral, untreated, and ethically sourced. Synthetic or plastic stones are spiritually dead. They cannot hold a charge. Agate, a premier stone. A premier stone of Islamic exotism. It is highly grounded, exceptionally durable, and capable of holding dense, protective, and commanding formulas for decades. Hadid, Chini, used strictly for heavy protection, coursing, obstacles, and binding the tongue and binding the tongues of adversaries. Dur al-Najaf, used for spiritual clarity, opening the third eye, and drawing favor, victory, and spiritual elevation. the mechanics of binding step by step. While I will never disclose except activating conjunction that lock the entity to the stone, as doing so will be highly irresponsible and dangerous. I can share the exact mechanical blueprint a practitioner flows over a multi-day cycle. Step 1. Spiritual cleansing. Before any ritual begins, the ring must be entirely erased of any previous human energy. The practitioner wears the vessel in spiritual prepared water, often mixed with rose water, sea salt, or rainwater, while reciting cleansing formulas to bring the metal and stone back to a 0 point state. Step 2. The alignment of the planetary hour. You cannot bind a spirit to a ring whenever you feel like it, as you saw in my case. And timing, it is everything. If you wish to bind a Khadim of Mercury or for legal strategy or contracts and dominance over adversaries, you must wait for the exact planetary hour of Mercury on a Wednesday. The sky must be clear and the cosmic gate must be fully open. Step 3. Feeding the vessel with scent. Spirits do not eat physical food. They are neutralized by pure high vibrational armor during the recitation of the ground oath, like the Birhatiya. The ring is continuously suspended over a specific incense smoke, such as pure Frankenstein or Benzion. The smoke acts as a physical bridge, drawing the Khadim towards the physical coordinate of the ring. Step 4. The internal inscription. While the practitioner recites the formulas a precise numeric number of times, the focus entirely directed into the stone. The spiritual force is literally pressed into the crystalline structure of the gem. Once the entity enters the vessel, a strict pact of mutual respect is established. How to maintain a living ring. Once a ring is successfully bound, it becomes an extension of your own aura. It requires continuous discipline. Cleanliness. You must never wear a bound spiritual ring into unclean places like restroom or areas of corruption without turning the stone inwards or removing it entirely. Recharging. Just like a battery, a ring must be periodically exposed to a smoke of its corresponding incense and reconstructed using its primary names to keep the concentration sharp and active. You must understand and watch the videos I sent you. They are not common videos, but only the wise knows. Look at it very well. You will understand a lot. There are secrets inside the videos showing extraordinary things, but only people that knows it or that have it in them or that are willing to understand will see and understand the video. After understanding the taxidermy of the jinn and the strict bureaucracy of the 7 kings, the next